Let us discuss the origin of electric charge. You know atom very well from the previous class textbooks. We will revisit the basic concepts here. So we will actually see the construction of an atom. An atom has a core at the center, what you see here, which consists of protons and neutrons. And in the outer spheres, there are electrons which revolve this nucleus. So the path that the electron takes to revolve is called orbits. Electrons and nucleus are tightly bounded, and this bond is because of there are charges on these two entities. On nucleus the charge is positive, and on electrons the charge is negative. And that is very intrinsic that electrons have negative charges. Nucleus have positive charge because nucleus has protons and neutrons inside it, and proton is positively charged. Neutrons have no charge, but they have masses. So proton and neutrons are they have equal masses, and there are a number of protons and neutrons inside the nucleus. That depends upon element to element that we will discuss in chemistry classes. One important thing to know is that protons are 2000 times heavier than electrons, and same goes with the neutrons. So we can take this example: if one electron is of 1 kg, then one proton is of around 2000 kg, and same goes with the neutron. One neutron is around 2000 kilograms. Now inside nucleus, protons and neutrons are tightly bonded. This tight bond, this is the nuclear bond that works here, which is very powerful when we compare it to the electric bond between electrons and the nucleus, maybe the protons and the neutrons. So nuclear bonds are very powerful. That is why they are every time inside the nucleus, because of this bond. But if another atoms comes near to this atom, there are chances that because of the pull of this atom, this electron can slip out. Now let us understand why this friction business happens. In an atom, so let's construct an atom which has nucleus inside at the center, and there are orbits. Orbits are the routes in which electron travels. And as we discussed that electrons in the orbit, suppose we have electrons here and then we have another electrons in further orbits, there can be more than one electrons. That depends upon the valency and everything, and that you will learn in chemistry classes. But here, just for understanding that there are electrons in the orbits and there are protons in the nucleus. Proton has plus charge, positive charge, and electrons have negative charge. So the negative charges, so closer the electron, the bond is greater. Farther the electron, the bond is less. So the outermost orbit has electrons which are very loosely bonded with the nucleus, and they are very vulnerable. That's why they can easily slip out. Now an object is made up of many atoms, so there are many atoms inside this object. Alright, so there are many atoms, it means there are number of electrons as well. So the outermost electrons of the atom easily slip out and stay at the edges or move at the edges of the object. Take any object, anything, maybe your mobile phone. So the electrons inside the atoms of your mobile phone can actually travel on the edges of your mobile phone, maybe on the screen, maybe on the body, but only the outermost electrons, because these are very loosely bound, and also these are negatively charged. So if another object comes in contact with this object, and this another object is maybe charged, positively charged. What is the meaning of positively charged? Positively charged means it has more positive things and less negative things. So suppose it has 5 positive things and 4 negative things. So it can take one more negative thing to become neutral. So this charged object, when comes in contact with this bigger object, can attract one electron, okay, and once the electrons get into this object, the prior object become positively charged. Why positively charged? Because it has given one negative charge to this object, so the number of negative charges becomes less and the number of positive charges increases. Not increases, it is stable, but negative charges decrease. To understand it more clearly, we can talk about in an atom, the number of proton is equal to number of electrons for a neutral atom. So let's take an example. Suppose the number of protons are 5 and number of electrons is also 5, because these numbers are equal. So both the numbers are 5. So when one electron will be transferred from this atom, it will have more proton and less electron. So maybe now only 4 is left. It means 5 plus charge is there and only 4 negative charge is there. So there is one extra positive charge. That's why the whole atoms become positively charged, and it is called ions. When we come to our this example of object, same happens here. If one electron is transferred, one negative charge is transferred, it has more positive charge left when compared to the negative charge. That's why the whole objects become positively charged. And this is how charge is created. We can say that some charge has been created. What kind of charge has been created? So a positive charge has been created. Why? Because of the transfer of electrons or transfer of charge, or because of friction. The same way, the object which attracts electron has more electrons and less protons inside it and become negatively charged because of more negative charges inside that atom or object. In the phenomena in which we get positively charged object, at the same time we also get negatively charged object. The other object becomes negatively charged. The one which loses electron becomes positively charged, and the one which gains electrons become negatively charged. Thank you for now. Let's see you in the next lecture.